Did you know that your risk of heart attack nearly doubles after age 65? Yes, this is a harsh and often silent reality. Most people in this age group don't even realize they're walking a fine line until something happens. A sudden chest pain, shortness of breath, or worse, an emergency that could have been prevented. But what if I told you that there is something simple and affordable that you can do starting today to completely change this scenario? A habit that can drastically reduce the risk of a heart attack without the need for miracle drugs, expensive equipment, or radical changes. A small adjustment to your routine can protect your heart and prolong your life with more energy, mobility, and peace of mind. And that's exactly what you'll discover here. So before continuing, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That way you won't miss any content that can really make a difference in your health or in the life of someone you love. Now that you understand the importance of this conversation, let's explore why heart risk increases so much after age 65 and what that really means. The invisible danger, why heart risk skyrockets. After 65, at 65, the body changes and the heart feels it first. As time goes by, blood vessels lose elasticity, fatty plaque builds up in the arteries silently, and blood pressure rises without warning. Metabolism slows down, muscle mass decreases, and many people unwittingly develop more abdominal fat, less energy, and slower recovery from simple exertion. All of this puts the heart under constant stress. Statistics show that more than 70% of heart attacks occur in people aged 65 or over. This is no coincidence. What was once a mild discomfort becomes an ignored symptom, and the symptoms build up. Tiredness when climbing stairs, palpitations when walking quickly, swelling in the feet at the end of the day. But the biggest problem isn't always the body, it's the habit. Many people think it's normal with age. It's just tiredness, or I've always been like this. It's this normalization of risk that makes it even more dangerous. A heart attack doesn't warn you, it just happens. And when it does, it's as if time has run out. Therefore, it is essential to understand that aging does not mean accepting risk as inevitable. Science shows that most heart attacks could be prevented with simple lifestyle changes, but to do so, you need to see the danger before it knocks on your door. Think about how many people around you have seen suddenly pass away, maybe a neighbor, a friend, a loved one, and the phrase that always comes back is, everything seemed fine. This is the cruelest side of cardiac risk in the elderly. It is invisible until it becomes irreversible. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to be that way for you. There are proven, safe, and affordable ways that can not only prevent a heart attack, but improve your mood, mental clarity, and overall well-being. And best of all, you can start today. By the way, if this message resonates with you, if you think more people should hear this before it's too late, then please like this video. This will help the content reach others who, like you, deserve to live longer and better. Now, if the danger is there, what happens when we pretend it doesn't exist? That's exactly what we're going to see in the next chapter. The cost of inaction, what can happen if nothing is done? Ignoring the problem doesn't make it any smaller. It just makes it quieter and more dangerous. Imagine the following scenario. A 67-year-old person, apparently healthy, leads a quiet life, watches television at night, and takes care of his grandchildren on the weekends. But he hasn't had any checkups for years. He says he doesn't like doctors and that if he's alive, everything's fine. Until one Sunday, he feels a pressure in his chest. He thinks it's just heartburn. It goes away. It comes back. When he finally decides to seek help, he's already at his limit. This type of story is more common than it seems, and the outcome is often tragic. The problem is not just the heart attack itself, but the devastating consequences of not acting sooner. Even when a heart attack is not fatal, it can leave serious consequences. Loss of strength, dependence on medication, reduced mobility, and in many cases, loss of autonomy, something that every elderly person deeply values. From then on, life changes. Simple activities like walking to the bakery, carrying a bag, or playing with grandchildren become difficult, sometimes impossible. Self-esteem drops, energy disappears, and along with it, the pleasure of living freely. But all of this could have been avoided. That's what hurts the most. Inaction comes at a price, and it's not just physical. There's also an emotional cost, both for the sufferer and for their family. Children who feel guilty, grandchildren who grow up with sad memories, caregivers who are overwhelmed, all for something that could have been prevented with a simple change way back when. The reality is harsh. Many people only realize the value of their health when they have already lost it. And now I want to hear from you. Do you know anyone who has experienced something similar? Have you ever been through a situation that made you realize the importance of taking care of your heart? Write your thoughts in the comments below. It could be a short story, a memory, or even a rant. Your experience could touch other people who need to open their eyes now, before it's too late. And since we're talking about time, it's time to turn the key and discover that destiny can be much lighter than it seems. Let's now talk about the good news that almost no one talks about, and that could change everything. The turnaround, the good news that few people talk about. It may seem like everything is out of our control, but it's not. Contrary to what many people think, aging is not synonymous with inevitable decline. The truth is that the body has an impressive capacity for adaptation. Even after age 65, studies show that simple lifestyle changes can not only prevent a heart attack, but even reverse damage that has already begun. That's right, the body can recover, strengthen the heart, and renew energy with the right, consistent, and affordable measures. But why doesn't anyone talk about this clearly? Because it's easier to treat the problem after it happens than to invest in prevention. And that's the trick. You don't have to wait for the scare to arrive to start changing. Most people only take action when they're already hurt, but those who act sooner reap the best results. Prevention isn't just smarter, it's easier, cheaper, and more effective. And the best part, we're not talking about painful sacrifices. Effective heart prevention, especially after 65, can start with something as simple as a habit, a small daily commitment that, accumulated over time, protects your heart like an invisible wall. This habit doesn't require the strength of an athlete, nor a radical diet, nor money to spare. But it does require a choice to take care of your health now so you don't regret it later. The good news is this: you're in control. At 65, 70, 75, or beyond, you can still live with vigor, autonomy, and security. All you need to do is take the first step, and you're about to find out exactly what that step is. In the next chapter, I will show you in a direct and practical way which habit drastically reduces the risk of a heart attack. A secret that science already knows, but that many people still do not apply in their daily lives. And you might be surprised at how simple it is. The breakthrough practice, the habit that dramatically reduces risk. Now that you know that it is possible to prevent a heart attack, and even after age 65, the most important part of this video has arrived. Let's get straight to the point. What is this simple habit that can transform your cardiovascular health and drastically reduce your risk of heart attack? The answer is daily walk. Yes, walking. Simple as that, but powerful like few others. The science is clear. Walking consistently between 25 and 40 minutes a day can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 50%. This is because walking activates circulation, improves blood pressure, helps control cholesterol, regulates blood sugar, and even strengthens the heart with a gentle effort, without overload. And there's more. Unlike other more intense physical activities, walking is safe, free, and accessible to practically anyone, and including elderly people with joint limitations, overweight, or low resistance. But of course, it's not enough to just walk for the sake of walking. To truly reap the benefits, you need to understand how to walk with intention. Here's how to turn walking into a natural remedy. Choose the right time. Choose early morning or late afternoon when the sun is milder. Wear light clothing and comfortable shoes. Prioritize well-being to create consistency. Start slowly. If you are sedentary, start with 10 minutes a day and gradually increase. Keep your pace light to moderate. Walking at a steady pace, but without exhausting yourself, is enough. Make it a fixed commitment. Put it on your calendar as if you were making an unavoidable appointment. This changes everything. Walking also has a profound emotional impact. It reduces stress, improves sleep quality, and releases endorphins, natural substances in the brain that promote a sense of well-being. In other words, in addition to protecting the heart, it also takes care of the mind. And for those who think, but I don't like walking alone, here's a valuable tip. Turn your walk into a social moment. Invite a friend, walk with your spouse, or even use this time to listen to calming music or podcasts that make you feel good. Walking can even be a time for reflection and connection with yourself. Now imagine the following. You wake up, drink a glass of water, put on your sneakers, and walk for half an hour while feeling the morning air. Your heart beats happily, your body awakens, and with each step you send a clear message to yourself: I care about my life. That's it. This simple habit, repeated every day, builds a protective shield around you, and the difference between those who live with quality and those who age at the mercy of chance often lies precisely in this: one step at a time. If you still think it's not enough, Think about the alternatives. Think about the days spent in the hospital, the heavy medications, the constant tests. Walking isn't just easy, it's liberating. And before we move on to the next chapter, I want to know from you, do you already walk every day, or are you going to start now after hearing this? Leave a comment below, share your routine, your experience, or even your obstacles. Maybe your answer will inspire someone else to take the first step today. Now that you know about this transformative practice, let's understand how it really affects your body and mind, and why you'll feel the difference in no time. Benefits you feel and see, the real impact on body and mind. You already know what to do. Now it's time to understand what happens when you start doing it. The first sign is lightness. After a few days of walking, your body begins to adjust. Your breathing becomes easier. Your legs feel firmer. Your heart feels more stable. Your circulation improves, and you feel, almost without realizing it, that something inside you is getting back into the right rhythm. Blood pressure tends to balance out, bad cholesterol, LDL, begins to fall, and good cholesterol, HDL, rises. Blood sugar levels stabilize. Inflammation in the body decreases. All of this strengthens protection against heart disease, but also against other serious conditions such as stroke, type 2 diabetes, and even dementia. But the benefits don't stop at the body. Walking acts as a natural reorganizer for the mind. It reduces levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and increases the production of serotonin, which improves mood. As a result, you sleep better, wake up feeling more energetic, and your mind feels clearer, as if the weight was lifted from your head. People who walk regularly report fewer symptoms of anxiety and depression, and a greater sense of emotional balance. This is especially important after age 65, when many people face loneliness, loss of autonomy, or insecurity about the future. Walking thus becomes an anchor of well-being, something concrete that you do for yourself every day. A time where you take care of your heart, yes, but also of your dignity, your freedom, and your sense of presence in the world. And if you're thinking, but do these benefits really appear for people over 70 or 80? The answer is yes. It's never too late. The human body is capable of responding positively to movement at any age, even for elderly people with limitations. Adapting walking to their own pace is enough to generate a significant change in health. The truth is, you start to realize that you're not just avoiding disease, you're living better. And when you live better, everything around you improves too. Your relationships, your disposition, your ability to enjoy the moments. In the next chapter, we'll look at how to turn all of this into a lasting lifestyle, not just a passing phase. Because taking care of your heart is not an event, it's a way of life. Prevention that inspires. How to make it a lifestyle. This is where a lot of people stumble. It starts well, you take your first steps, you feel the benefits. But after a week, 2 weeks, a month, the rhythm drops. The routine starts to swallow everything up again. Therefore, more important than knowing what to do is transforming prevention into a lifestyle. Something natural, automatic, that is part of who you are. And the first step to that is consistency. Even if today's walk seems small, even if you don't feel like it, you walk, because it's no longer an obligation. It's a commitment to yourself, and commitments require structure. Practical tip: set a fixed time to walk. Don't depend on your feelings or your emotional mood that day. Mark it on your calendar. Treat this time as sacred. If you can, walk with someone. When you work together, the habit becomes stronger. Another important point: record your progress. This could be a simple calendar where you mark the days you walk. Seeing the accumulation of steps is a way to see in numbers how much you're taking care of yourself. And remember, the journey is just the beginning. Over time, this care expands. You start to eat better, sleep better, think more clearly. Your identity changes. You stop being someone who avoids heart attacks and become someone who lives with awareness and purpose. This is true prevention, the kind that inspires and transforms. Now, I want to provoke you. What is the excuse that most prevents you from taking care of yourself? Lack of time, discouragement, laziness, fear of not being able to do it. Write in the comments, but write sincerely. Sometimes, just by recognizing what is holding you back, you can begin to free yourself. And in the final chapter, I'll show you how to take the final step, inspiring others with your attitude, and creating a chain of life and health that can reach far beyond you. If you've come this far, it's because something inside you understood the message. Maybe it was the wake-up call, maybe it was the desire to live longer, or maybe it was simply the desire not to repeat the mistakes that so many others have made due to lack of information, habit, or support. But now you know that you don't have to wait for a scare to change. You know that the heart can be taken care of with simple, daily, firm steps. And most importantly, know that you are still in control. At 65, 70, 80, or beyond, life can take on a new lease of life. There may be more energy to do what you love, more presence to be with those you love, more independence to live with dignity. It all starts with a decision, a step, a choice. And if this video helped you see this path more clearly, subscribe to the channel now. Here you will find content made for you with guidance, motivation, and practical tips to take care of your body, mind, and life. By signing up, you become part of a community that believes that aging isn't about stopping. It's about evolving, and remember, your heart is listening to everything you do for it. Keep speaking with actions. See you in the next video.